So it's gonna be a quick video. I just want to showcase the color grading lookup table system that I just added to Degine. I actually just worked on it this morning, so it's like a kind of like a day's worth of work. So right here, this is actually I ported the format from Unreal Engine. So if I go here to post processing. So here, this is actually literally the PNG from the like the Epic, like the Unreal Engine documentation, like its example. So I use the same format, and I could go click here and just go like this red one. And I also like did some changes on the editor, so these can move around these windows. And then if you press the space bar, it just hides all the UI elements, and you could look around, you can move. And then if you like click on an object, and then you could use the mouse, like the middle mouse, kind of drag to orbit and zoom in and out and whatever, right? Yeah. So yeah, I was talking about the lookup tables. So here, these are the these two from the Unreal Engine. So I just wanted to, like, kind of support like a standard format that other engines use, like people like already have these kind of PNGs, and you can see a little preview of it here in the UI. So when you click this, and then this one is like the identity one that just keeps it like with the normal colors. So you can see here it like changes it shows you a little preview of the lookup table, and you could also change the HDRI. So this is like, I can go here and like just change it, and that right there loaded a 4K like HDR file and generated the environment, like the spherical harmonics or whatever for the environmental. And it's only one probe. It's not like the whole level yet. It's just kind of image-based lighting, but it does that. Like, I'll just click another one here. That was like, I don't know, about a second or something. I don't know. So it just loaded, and then I can press space, and then see this, and then so what I could also show you. And these like different menus. Like I have the camera here, and then these are like, you could just change the FOV like this, or enable depth of field blurring, and it's pretty. Here, I'll take off the far, put the near field. So you go down here, and then press space, and you could just kind of preview it. And then when you press space again, it brings back whatever the last menu, whatever. I think this was on. No, that's fine. And then, what else was I showing? Yeah, so here, so this is just the identity. So this it doesn't really do much. And then I could go here to the tone mapping, and I have ACES fitted, which is, I mean, it's kind of like I mean, they use it in films, and I think like Unreal Engine like 3 or something, but it was it's a little like kind of a lot of contrast. So if I put the Habel filmic, I think this is used on Uncharted, so it's not as drastic, and it doesn't handle the emissive material as well, but it looks kind of more like more natural, like more realistic, like not so like jacked up. And then I could go here and put this Reinhardt is like a little more like not as like cinematic. It's a little more like like more kind of like a photo or whatever. And then if I put here, I actually ported this Tony McMap face to the Unreal Engine format, and then it's like a 256 by 16 PNG. So this is with that, and it's not like as good quality as the original. Like, there's a GitHub. This is, you should probably check it out if you're like into tone mapping or want to add this to your engine. Like, it's pretty good, but I was just kind of thinking, like, just to have a uniform thing, like they all go through the same kind of like pipeline or whatever. So if I can put like ACES filmic, and then you can mess with the exposure and the white point, or I put Habel. Habel's pretty good. So if I put the exposure up and put that's a little jacked up, but yeah, that's way too much on that. But if I put this, actually let me put the Reinhardt, because it probably works a little better, and then put the exposure down a little bit, just a little kind of here. That looks a little better. Yeah, so you can see here, you know, you have a lot of control. Like this is, you know, you have so I could switch to, like, let's say, I think this dock lens is a good one. So yeah, you could just hear, and you could just kind of switch around. Like, I mean, these I have, these aren't loaded. I have the like the file names. So this is not like preloaded. Like when I click them, it's like loading the file and doing all this. Like I click this, like that was the whole thing. Like that was probably less than a second, and it just loaded, you know, 4K HDR image and processed it, like the environment, irradiance, and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I think this is like a kind of a good system here because, you know, there's a few, you know, it's like the engine is very heavily image-based lighting, and like a lot of this, you could also see this is all screen space kind of stuff. So this is, if I go here, I could turn the indirect lighting off. So this is screen space, indirect lighting. So if I turn this off, I could put the ambient occlusion on because it helps kind of ground it. So this is just with the kind of emissive material and bloom. Like here I have this bloom or whatever, so that's what's making it kind of emissive, but it's not like here, it's not really like lighting up the floor. But if I go here and here turn on the indirect lighting, you could see here, I'll put it over here, like you see it's doing a huge difference there on the floor. It's like a huge massive difference on the indirect lighting. And this is, I mean, this scene is obviously there's a ball and like a plane. It's like pretty simple, but you know, and a directional light, you know, the direct shadow, but you can imagine if you had like multiple lights and, you know, different, you know, the flames and torches that are emissive, it's all running through a screen space. So like you could have as many of these balls, emissive balls, like it's pretty much a fixed cost, so it's not and here I could show you it's real time. I'm not faking this. So if I go here, I'll put the position, so you could see here it's real time. It's not fake. This is probably a better angle, so you can see the, like on the shadow here, you can see it's definitely like updating in real time, like the lighting and everything. So it's just, and then I can click here and then it zooms in. So I mean that's basically the kind of stuff I was working on the past couple days. Well, I was doing research. I mean, I implemented it today, but I did a few days of research into adding some of this stuff. But I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. There's a few. I mean, these aren't all finished yet, and I have like, you know, these are like some of the settings. I think I already showed you that, and then this like debug menu. I have all these like little tweaks and stuff. But it's you know, it's coming along. The idea was that, you know, you don't have a ton of like the whole screen like with buttons and windows. Like if you want to, let's say, mess with the camera, you get this thing with like, you know, you got a few options, and then, you know, if you want to just preview it, like here you have the grid, and there's like, you want distraction free, you just press the space bar, and now it's just like, you know, you're in the game. You could still, the controls still work. There's no UI, but like the same thing works. If you know how it works, you could still do it without the hints. And but then if you want, let's say I want to go here. Oh, this is all context sensitive too. So like if I click here, and this is like kind of on the sky, like on nothing, there's these kind of global settings. But if I kind of click, you can click around, they're highlighted. If I click on this ball and right click, now I get different options. There's transform. I can go to the material here. I might share some of this in previous videos, but like here I can click the emissive, and then, you know, let's say I want to type in here like 18. Now that's bigger or whatever, or you know, different, like there's different things. I mean, these sections are blank because it's just an emissive, but if I were to click on this, let's say, you could see there's the albedo, the height. You could like preview the textures and stuff like that. So yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, and these like move around too. You could like move these windows around or whatever. And So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of work left on this engine, but I think I have like a good base. Like I think like the design, the concept is good, and the graphics are kind of like coming out pretty good. I mean, there's still a ton of like features and stuff left, but I feel like you know, it's going in a good direction. So I'll probably do some more videos like soon, because I mean was working on the like the stereoscopic 3D, like the 3D glasses and monitors and stuff like that. For a little while, I took like a small break, but I'm back working on this, and I think this is like a much more promising engine. Oh yeah, I can show. This is another feature I did, right? So I have I don't have this integrated into the material menu yet, but if I go to the debug, this is hex tiling. So it might be kind of hard to, let me go here, it might be hard. So this is the hex tile. So if I go like this is just the looping tile. So if I put a hex, it's actually kind of randomizing and rotating it here. And then you could see, even if I go close, it doesn't look like it's being altered. Like this looks like the original texture. But if you zoom out far, you don't see any like looping patterns. Like it looks essentially random, because it's like tiling the textures, and it's like the same algorithm. Guy that made it, I think, works for Unity or something like that. So it's, you know, it's like in use. Like it's like a production ready algorithm, and then you know, it even works with, if I go here on the height, so I could change the height strength, so you could see. It might be hard to see from this angle, but if I go here, like close, and then I change the height, you could see it has this like parallax occlusion mapping. This is kind of a tough angle. Looks like a subtle effect. Maybe this would be a better angle, but here. So this is at full strength. So you can see, even with the hex tiling, everything, all that stuff, kind of works together. So that's pretty much complete. That's finished. So I mean, that was basically the idea. I think this video is getting kind of long, and it's not like the most interesting model graphics. I mean, you know, I had some other assets, but I decided to kind of simplify it, so I could just focus on like the fundamentals, and not get too caught up in the artwork, like more on the rendering side. But yes, so that's basically it for today. I'll probably start doing more of these videos, like just with like little kind of nerdy features or whatever, because just to keep things moving. But yeah, so thanks for watching.